Hi everybody, this is Robert at Scott Leroy Marketing. Today we're going to talk about why it's important to have an email signature and what you should put in your email signature. To get started, I've got this test message here that I sent to myself that does not have a signature in it. So you can see who it's from and you can see the content of the message, but there's nothing after that. There's nothing to separate you from the other emails that they're going to be receiving. So we're going to craft our own signature fairly simply, and we're just going to do that by composing a new message, and we're going to make our signature here in the new message box, and then we're going to copy it over into the signature here in Gmail. If you have another email system, adding the signature will probably be fairly similar, but we're not going to show instructions for other specific email systems. You'd have to figure that out there on your end. So to get started with your signature, we are going to want to enter a blank line here. Just hit the enter key to go down one line. And then to start with your signature, the first thing you want to make sure is that you're telling people who it is that has sent them this message. They are going to see your name and your email address typically in their email client, letting them know who sent it, but it's always good to reiterate that down in your signature. So you want to include your name. And then underneath that, you want to provide other options for communicating with you. So you want to make sure to include your phone number. And this can be formatted any way you want. You can use the parentheses in front of, around the area code. You can do the dots between the sections. You can do it as one long string if you want to. You can format that any way that you want. And on most mobile phones, if someone were to open this email with your signature there on their phone, they'd have the ability to tap on your phone number and give you a call. So that's really good to have in your signature, especially since most people are accessing their email through their phone. You also might want to make sure to include your email address itself, just in case their email service doesn't show the address very obviously. And it's also good to just remind them of what your email address is so that they don't have to go looking for it. So you'd want to include include your email address there. Next, since you're now a business owner as a real estate agent, you want to make sure to provide access to your website so that your website can provide the service of lead capture to you as the business owner. The more people that go to your website, the better, because statistically, more people on your website means more leads that you're going to receive for your business. So you want to make sure to include the link to your website in your email signature. And you don't necessarily have to highlight that and apply the link. The vast majority of email systems on the recipient's end are automatically going to turn that into a link. So if you don't know how to apply a hyperlink, that's not too big of a deal because it should be automatic the majority of the time. If you do want to apply a link in Gmail, at least, you would highlight this, and then we're going to click the hyperlink button. It looks like a link of chain here. Some places it looks like 3 links of chain. And you're just going to, in Gmail, if you're highlighted a web address already, it's going to automatically apply it to that web address. You can change it. You can tell it to go to somewhere else if you want, or if it did the wrong address, you can change that in there as well. Underneath that, since real estate agents are very highly regulated, you'll probably have some affiliation information that you're required to show in your email signature. So more than likely, you're going to have to include your Keller Williams office name. You may even have to provide contact information for your market center, so the address maybe, and then maybe even the phone number for your office. And then lastly, you may also have additional compliance information based on the state that you're in. I know especially in Texas, you have to have the information about brokerage services and the consumer protection notice links. In Texas, those are required to go above the rest of your signature. So you'd have to hit that enter key a couple of times and add those links in there. And if you need help figuring out how to add those links, we can actually help you with that. Just send us an email at support@scottleroymarketing.com. So now we've got our signature made up here. I'm going to show you how to apply that as your signature so it'll automatically show in every message you send through Gmail. Any other email service, you're going to have to find other instructions for that. This is only going to apply to Gmail because that's what KW provides. So we're going to highlight all of this and copy it. Then we'll go up here to our gear icon just above and to the right of our inbox here, and we'll click on Settings. If we scroll down the settings page about 2/3 of the way, here's the section for signature. By default, no signature will be selected. As soon as you paste something here into the signature box, it'll select having a signature there. And then more often than not, you do want to check this box that says insert this signature before quoted text in replies and remove the dash dash line that precedes it. The reason you want to do that is so that in a long email thread where you're going back and forth with somebody about something, maybe it's a negotiation or something like that, you don't want to end up with a dozen copies of your signature stacked down at the very bottom of the email message. You want to make sure your signature gets added anew underneath your message each time you send the message rather than stacking them all at the bottom. So I recommend checking this box here if you're using Gmail. Once you've got your signature applied, you'll want to scroll down to the bottom and save changes. That way, every time you compose a new message, that signature will automatically be added down at the bottom there. If you have additional questions about what your email signature needs to contain or why you should have one, definitely let us know at support@scottleroymarketing.com.